Growing up, there was one room in our house that was always off limits. The door was always locked, and my parents would get really weird whenever I asked about it. They'd just say, "It's for storage, sweetheart. Nothing interesting in there." But I knew that wasn't true. Sometimes, late at night, I'd hear faint noises coming from behind that door. Not scary noises, but sad ones, like someone quietly crying. It always sent a shiver down my spine. My curiosity became an obsession. I tried everything to get inside. I tried picking the lock with a paper clip like in the movies, but it never worked. I even tried to peek through the keyhole, but it was always dark. The mystery of that room haunted me. It was like a black hole in the middle of our otherwise normal, happy home. My friends would joke about it, saying my parents were secret agents or something. But I had a feeling it was something much more personal and much darker. Then came the summer of 1999. I was 15, and my parents were going away for their anniversary weekend, leaving me home alone for the first time. The night before they left, my mom gave me the usual list of rules. No parties, lock the doors, and the big one, stay away from that room. Okay, honey, we mean it. The way she looked at me, her eyes filled with a strange mix of fear and sadness, made my stomach turn. I promised, but we both knew I was lying. As soon as their car disappeared down the street, my heart started pounding. This was my chance. I went straight to my dad's toolbox and found a small crowbar. My hands were shaking so much I could barely hold it steady. I stood in front of the forbidden door, took a deep breath, and started prying at the frame. It felt wrong, like I was breaking a sacred rule, but I couldn't stop. After a few loud creaks and groans, the old wood splintered, and the lock finally gave way. The door swung open into darkness. The air that rushed out was stale and musty, smelling of dust and something else, something faintly sweet, like old perfume. I flicked on the light switch, but nothing happened. The bulb was probably dead. Using the flashlight from my phone, I swept the beam across the room. It wasn't just a storage room. It was a bedroom, a child's bedroom, perfectly preserved, like a time capsule from another era. There was a small wooden bed with a faded pink comforter, a little desk with crayons and coloring books neatly stacked, and a bookshelf filled with classic children's stories. But everything was covered in a thick layer of dust. It was like the room had been frozen in time. On the wall, above the bed, were wooden letters spelling out a name, Lily. I didn't have a sister named Lily. I was an only child, or so I thought. My light landed on a small, white rocking horse in the corner. As I stared at it, a floorboard creaked behind me. I froze, my blood running cold. I was supposed to be alone in the house. I spun around, flashing my light down the dark hallway. But there was nothing there, just silence. I told myself it was just the old house settling, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone anymore. I turned back to the room and went to the desk. I opened a small drawer and found a diary with a little silver lock. It wasn't locked. I opened it to the first page. In a child's messy handwriting, it said, "My name is Lily, and I am 7 years old." Mommy says I have to stay in my room because I'm sick. I flipped through the pages. Lily wrote about her days spent drawing, reading, and watching the world from her window. She talked about a coughing monster in her chest that wouldn't go away. The last entry was dated October 31st, 1990. It was short, and the handwriting was shaky. Mommy and Daddy are crying. The monster is winning. I'm so sleepy. That's when it all clicked. The sadness, the locked door. The secret. Lily was my sister. The sister I never knew I had. She had passed away in this very room, and my parents, consumed by grief, had locked the door and tried to forget. The faint crying I'd heard wasn't a ghost. It was the echo of my own family's pain. Trapped in these four walls, I closed the diary, my hands trembling. Suddenly, I felt a cold spot in the room, and I heard a faint whisper, clear as day, right next to my ear. It just said, "Hi." I ran out of that room so fast I almost fell down the stairs. I never told my parents I went in there. When they got home, I just hugged them tighter than I ever had before. The room remained locked, but something had changed. I no longer felt fear when I walked past it, only a deep, profound sadness. Sometimes, I still think I hear a little girl's whisper in the quiet of the house. But now, it doesn't scare me. It just reminds me of the sister I never got to meet. Thanks for listening. If you have a story like this, share it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more.